Hi guys, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a super fun book tag. It's called the telephone book cover tag. I think cover's in the title. I'm not sure. It's either the telephone book tag or the telephone book cover tag. Anyways, I was tagged to do this by Celestria, so thank you Celestria for tagging me. I will leave a link to her channel down below in the description. And basically the concept is the previous person who tagged you will show a book cover, and then you take an element from that book cover and pick another book after that, and you go for 10 books, and then at the very last book is the one that the next person you tag will take an element from that book and continue on the chain. Basically, you just get a bunch of book recommendations based off of things on the cover. I made this more challenging for myself. I decided to only do independently or self-published books for this tag, and I managed to find them all. So I managed to find 10 indie books. So all these are going to be independently published, and the first one is funny because it's also independently published. This is the book Celestria started with. It is Tyra, which is a short story part of the Ilion Chronicles by J.L. Knight. This is a Christian non-magical fantasy series. And okay, so for this one, okay, I think this is funny. Okay, I took basically, okay, there's a forest here, there's the wolf and the blue. So I took all of that and I chose Bitter Winter because there's Tyra in a forest that's blue. I was only going to do one series for each book, but then I was thinking these covers are like so stinking similar that I'm sorry. I thought it was hilarious to just pick this one because I just thought that was so funny. Anyways, oh, I'm sorry. Celestia, I hope you think that's funny. Anyways, yeah, they're like really, really similar. I mean, come on. Aside from the moon and the difference of the wolf, it's like literally the same cover. But yeah, Ilion Chronicles is a kind of a new adult Christian non-magical fantasy series, and book 5, Bitter Winter is book 5 in the series, which is currently the last one. There's going to be one more book, but the author hasn't released it yet. And yeah, it's a very good series, very fun, very epic, and I love it, and I love these characters to death. Okay, I'm gonna try to be short with book descriptions. We'll see how that goes. Oh, anyways, for the next book I picked, I decided to go with a dog because Tyra's here and she's a wolf. So I picked Prince of Shadow and Ash. Here you can see there's a silhouette of a wolf head here. So I picked from that. Prince of Shadow and Ash, this is a new adult fantasy romance, sorry, my mind blanked for a minute, fantasy romance duology that we follow a mercenary Regulus. Actually, he's a former mercenary. He's kind of just looked down on nobility because of being a former mercenary, plus he's the illegitimate son of, and he just, you know, they're kind of the nobility are mad that he got the lordship. And also we follow Adelaide, who is a mage, basically a magic user, in the kingdom where being a magic user is very dangerous because there's this guy who is the sorceress who is looking, not the sorceress, sorcerer. Sorceress is the female version, never mind. He is hunting down mages and killing them. So it's extremely dangerous. She has to hide her magic, and they meet, and adventure and romance ensue. Okay, so from this book, I decided to pick, there's a sword here in the middle, so I had decided to pick a sword, and this is a big one, the Life After series by Julie Hall. Here you can see she's holding a glowing sword. This is the omnibus edition, by the way, which is why it's so big. This is not one book, this is 4. This series is a Christian supernatural spiritual warfare series. Basically, we follow Audrey, who basically dies and goes to heaven, and basically in this version of heaven that the author has made, people get jobs in the afterlife of what they're best suited at, and she gets the job of being a demon hunter, which she's like totally not into that because it's like, I'm not a warrior, you know. She's like, I'd rather like paint my nails than go to war against demons and to protect the humans back on Earth. And just, it is her chaotic adventures in the afterlife and what happens when she has to end up like protecting her family. She also clashes with her trainer Logan, and there's kind of a romance there, and it's a very good series. Very, very good. I just said that. Very good, very suspenseful. I really like this, and I'm really excited to read more from this author. She has 2 other series out now, I believe, but I haven't gotten a chance to read either of them. But yeah, really love this series. So, from this cover, I decided to pick like a kind of warrior female. I was kind of just going for a girl, but I ended up picking a girl holding a weapon too, so okay, kind of warrior female-ish. And for that, I picked Bluebeard and the Outlaw by Tara Grace. This is a, yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention this is a young adult series, so, because I mentioned the kind of age range of the other 2. Okay, we're moving on now. I do not know the age range of this one. Adult, maybe? Not sure. But anyways, Bluebeard and the Outlaw by Tara Grace. This is a fairy tale retelling mashup of the Grimm's Brothers fairy tale Bluebeard and Robin Hood. It's kind of a mashup of those, and we basically follow Robin. She is, you know, stealing from the rich to give to the poor and stuff, and she hears that, let's see, oh yeah, the Duke guy who is kind of the sheriff in this story, he is planning to marry again, so she decides, great, I'll marry him, then I can really just steal his riches to give to everybody else. What's better? What can go wrong? Everything. So, this is basically a heist adventure. It's a novella. It's very short. It's very funny. I really enjoyed this one. And yeah, it's just a fun adventure. Okay, so for this one, you can see there's a castle manor in the back here. So I picked a castle for that. And I picked Defy, which is book 3 in the Blades of Akhtar series by Trisha Mingrink, who is ironically the same author as Tara Grace. Tara Grace is a pen name. I didn't realize that until right now. I just picked those 2. But anyways, there's a castle here. Defy is the 3rd book. This is a Christian non-magical fantasy series as well, about basically assassins and in this warring kingdom, and these assassins, and how one of the assassins, Leith, comes across believers in God and Christians, and he's like has torn between, do I turn them in even though they basically just helped me survive, or do I let them go free, and what are the consequences of that? And it's a really good series. I really love this series. I really need to read it again. I only read it once, but yeah, I really need to read this one again. Okay, so for this one, I decided to pick, there's kind of like a pink sunset. So I picked that and picked the Faith, Hope, and Love Collection Volume 1 by Michaela Bush. This is a, basically adult. This one is young adult as well. I would say, I don't know, sometime between young adult, new adult, and adult, there's like blurred lines. I would say this is adult. I'm not really sure. It specifies. But there's a sunset here, and this is a Christian contemporary romance trilogy. This is a whole bind-up of 3 books, and yeah, in it we follow 3 different couples who are just going through different things in life, and with, you know, God's help and all that. So, pretty low-key compared to the rest of the books I've been showing you. Like, this is like the least action-packed one I have. Actually, the most action in this one is probably in book 1. So yeah, book 1's my favorite in the series, which is Welcome Home. Anyways, so with this one, I picked, there's 2 people on the cover. So I picked 2 people on the cover, and that is Martin's Mark by Cathrice McKee. This is a young adult Christian fantasy. I think it's non-magical. This book doesn't have any magic. Oh no, there is magic. Never mind. There is healing. There's like a healing power. So I think there's a little bit of magic. It's not really magic though, so I don't know. But there are people who can like heal and stuff, so I don't know. It's Christian fantasy anyways. This is the first book in a trilogy. Basically, the princess Shirlene, I'm not sure how to say her name. Anyway, she and her siblings get abducted by pirates, and they get, you know, stuck on this pirate ship where Alden and his 2 brothers are. And basically, a shipwreck happens, and everybody on the crew but these 3 guys and these siblings die, and basically they have to escape and survive while these different people are after them and different things are happening, and it's basically like a fantasy survival adventure story. At least the first one is. I do know this is going to be a 4-book series. Only the first 3 books are out currently. But yes, I really like this. I really need to reread it. I only read it once because I found this one at my library. But yeah, really need to reread this one. So for this one, I don't know if you can tell, there's like fire, like a fire type thing, and there's some on the back cover here. So I took that element for the next book. And I chose The Grim Alliance by Angela R. Watts. This is the 2nd book in the Infidels books series. This is a Christian dystopian suspense series. And you basically just follow these various people in like gangs and townships and stuff in post-apocalyptic America who are basically just trying to survive and overturn the evil government and just take back what freedoms they can. And it's a wild ride. It's very, very good, but also very gritty. I would rate this series PG-13. More sensitive readers, it would be R. So keep that in mind if you want to read these books, because sometimes the violence can get a little more graphic and there is some swearing in here. So that in mind. For this one I picked, there's a burning building here, so I picked The Building, and we got 2 buildings out of this one. This is Moonscript by H.S.J. Williams. There's a castle here. There's kind of a castle behind him. And actually, if you can tell, in that crevice in front of him, it looks kind of like there's fire. So it matches the fire from the previous book. Yeah, this is a Christian fantasy series. And we follow just basically a bunch of different characters. This is very much like Tolkien's Elves, but with less... how do I word it? Like old world classic terminology in the books. So it's like modern day type reading with depth to it, but not like so heavy like Lord of the Rings, if that makes sense. Yeah, we basically follow 4 different characters, yeah, who just, you know, end up joining this. They find this one elf prince. He was abducted a long time ago, forced to work as a slave, and then this young girl and her friend, they both get basically abducted too. They get thrown in there. They help him escape, Arrance, the elf, and then they meet other people and creatures along the way. It's just basically these misfit people who don't belong anywhere. They join together and they just kind of join as a family, and they're trying to help Arrance here overcome and recover from the ordeals he suffered in the dark world. I don't think I'm really doing this book justice by describing it, but it's really good. If you like Lord of the Rings-esque Middle-earth type storytelling, I would recommend checking out this book. It's very similar in tone to that, but not so heavy on like descriptions and stuff like that, and just the older type language, if you know what I mean. Okay, so for this one, I picked kind of 2 elements. I picked a person on the cover, and also the way Moonscript is, with this kind of swirly, almost script-like font. And I picked A Thieving Curse by Selena R. Gonzalez, because there's a girl on the cover, and there's also this kind of swirly script with A Thieving Curse. And this is a new adult fantasy romance fairy tale retelling of Beauty and the Beast. Basically in this one, Princess Raylan is going to a neighboring kingdom to become the betrothed. Yeah, she's betrothed to the prince in their neighboring kingdom to kind of bridge an alliance. And unfortunately, though, she gets lost along the way. They get attacked. She and her family get attacked on the road, and she gets lost along the way. Her horse bolts in the forest. She gets lost. And then she is saved by who happens to be, is that a spoiler? Is that a spoiler? Nope, that is not a spoiler. Okay. So, anyways, another creature, a creature comes after her in the mountains. She's saved by a man named Alexander, but he's not totally a man. He is, half dragon. He has like dragon wings and horns and a tail and stuff. And he reveals to her that he is actually the rightful crown prince to the kingdom that she's being married off to, and his throne was stolen by his uncle and his cousin, and he's like, no, I can't let you go back because you'll reveal that I'm alive living here with these other people in the mountains, and I can't have you do that. I also can't, like, let you go to, you know, because I can't have my conscience being like, you're gonna marry to a monster, and I just don't really, I can't let you do that. So, and then unfolds basically Raylan's dilemma of what should she do, and Alexander is just, you know, like, what is he? Is he actually a monster? Is he actually a good guy? And it's just that whole story, and more adventure and romance ensue from there. It's a really good book. I really, really love this one. It's one of my all-time favorites. And this is the final book. So, for anyone I tag, this is the cover. You will be picking an element from and continuing the chain. So, with that being said, I think the next thing is to tag someone. I think, unfortunately, everybody I follow on BookTube has done this tag, but, or has at least thought of doing this tag. Anyways, I do know Celestia tagged Lindsay at BFCG. I will tag Lindsay as well. If nothing else, if she just sees one of our videos first, she can start there, or she can do both covers, whichever you want to choose, Lindsay, if you see this video. But I tag her, and I also tag Laura at Laura A. Grace. I'd be very curious to see what manga you can find that would fit this cover and carry on the chain. Yeah, anyways, that was the telephone book cover tag. I had a lot of fun with that. I had a lot of fun trying to find books that were, you know, would fit the prompts. I got a little stuck on a couple of them. I got stuck on Defy for a while of what to do after that one. But anyways, did all that, and these are all independently published books. I will leave a list of all the titles and authors and stuff down below, so in case you want to check any of them out in their Goodreads pages, I will leave those linked down below. Yeah. And if you also want to do this tag and I did not tag you, feel free. Like I said, Thieving Curse is the cover you will be picking from, an element from, to continue the chain. So feel free to do so if you want. And yeah, let's talk below in the comments about books, and have you read any of the books? Do any of them look good? Did my descriptions do them justice? Probably not. Yeah, and just let's talk all the things down below. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I lost my words there for a minute. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!